Hi, my name is Camelia Murray, and today I would like to thank you guys for taking the time to view my capstone project for my BAPS capstone. I chose to focus on financial literacy today among young adults, specifically over challenges we're facing in budget and debt and overspending. Limited habits and long term savings. I chose this project because we see a lot of challenges happening every day among friends, peers, with even our own experiences. I feel like this area needs to be talked about because a lot of people are, especially young adults, are not financially knowledgeable on things that can impact them and show up later on in life. And they end up dealing with stress, debt, and poor financial decisions. I wanted to do this area because I feel like reassuring young adults and they can actually use this to build and understand to have money and better financial habits so they can become very strong. I feel like the main idea for this project is the financial literacy, where I designed a website for young adults so they can focus on the four areas: the budget basics, understanding, maintaining student loans, saving strategies, and building credit responsibly. My goal is to create a platform that explains basically, the financial concepts and using visuals and ways that they can learn immediately how they should save money at a very young age. I feel like this project matters the most to me because many young adults are not financially, like, they don't care. Like, they don't think about money. So I feel like young adults at the ages between, 18 to 25, they really don't know stuff and they don't know any real world life skills. The problem is I feel like young adults miss credit card payments. They don't have emergency savings, and it comes from a lack of information not being brought to them at such a young, early age. Throughout the research, I plan to make everything clear for young adults by having it easy to understand the conflict, to easily understand like what they should do in the situation when it comes to financial budgeting and everything. Having accessible stuff online for them to see what will work for them or find like, workshops and stuff or, mentors to where they can keep them at a strict budget to have their understanding on everything. And even connected to real life experiences, like even looking at their parents and seeing like, the debts and stuff they went through to make sure that they don't fall in the footsteps to do the same thing. And then we're talking about, cultural and generally relevant stuff. And this is what I really wanted to build my project around so we can have a better understanding on how we should save and budget at the same time. These are the core courses that I feel that shaped my project. The first one I would like to start with is system thinking. I feel like it helped me understand the financial literacy and the issues in the young adults when financial decisions are connected to. Some of them are connected to family background. Like, I feel like, they'll see their parents or family members go through a whole financial burden to where, they follow in their footsteps. Education. I feel like a lot of schools, colleges, and high schools don't talk about how you should be financially successful in the future. And then social influences. Nowadays you see a lot of people, flashing money or spending money on things they shouldn't spend it on, and they have a poor spending habit. And also with employment, some young people get checks and they blow them, and they don't usually use it or use it in a productive way. And then the cost of living, I can use me as example. At a young age, the cost, it's expensive out here, so having these concepts, having these young adults understand the concept of why we should budget things. And I also want to think in a design. I can ask these questions like, what do young adults struggle with the most? Saving money. What frustrates you when you learning about money? To me, as a young adult, I feel like bills. Like, I feel like every time I turn around, a bill is due. And what kind of website could you actually use? I feel like with my website, it could be used in real times, and I feel like that we could get young adults to understand, like there's many workshops you can go to get the idea of what will be best for your like what will be best as in financial, literacy. And then I feel like understanding data. I feel like I collected a lot of data from young adults doing surveys and stuff for me to show them, this is what you need to do to financially save and help yourself budget throughout your life. And then as you get older, you wouldn't have to worry so much. Me implementing my project, the things that I'm currently doing for my project is adding the final content to my website, completing visual elements, recording, the presentation video, testing the site with a few young adults, which I have done, and I feel like they're, amazed by it, and making decisions based on what you guys tell me. And I feel like this allows me during the timeline, to publish this website and share it through all social media platforms for young adults. With the closing my capstone project, it will allow me to bring everything together throughout this research and design with system thinking, communication, and solving problems, and making it meaningful and useful. And I really appreciate everybody that watched my video and every my audience, to where I can reach my goal and for young adults to feel more confident, informed, and prepared to take control of their financial future. Thank you.